What's up guys, Dario here, and today we're going to talk about Machenike K7 keyboard, which has really interesting features. Now, I've been using it for a couple of weeks now with all the testing rigs and stuff like that, just to see how it works, how it sounds and everything. So let's go into details. When you open the box, you get a keyboard nicely placed, and you get instruction manuals, and you get a keycap remover. Now on the top part you get the USB Type-C cable, which is really cool thing to have. Now when we're talking about most important features, I would say battery life up to 60 hours, RGB, mechanical, Bluetooth, multi-platform. What else do you actually need when we're talking about these kind of keyboards? And it's 10 keyless keyboard, so you don't have a numerical pad, but still it's a cool keyboard, and I'm already saying it right on front because it really is. Now the main specifications, I already mentioned those, but let's start with the keycaps. The keycaps are pretty basic, there's nothing extra to it, but ABS plastic on top with matte coating, low quality double shot design. When we're talking about the switches, these are actually unbranded switches. Usually they're Autemi when it comes to this kind of keyboard and their source, but I was searching through their website and I couldn't find any reliable information what kind of switches are there, but I did find something else. And basically, taking into consideration that this kind of keyboard has 4 different switches, you have the black one, you have the brown one, you have the blue one, and you have the red one. The one that I got here has blue switches, but let's go with all the switches and all the actuation force and actuation distance. So the black has actuation force 80 grams, while the actuation distance is actually the lowest, is 1.5 millimeter. Now the blue ones that I got here, the actuation force is 60 grams, but the actuation distance is 2.4 millimeters. And then we have the red and brown, which have the same actuation force 60 grams and the same actuation distance 2 millimeters. Basically, let's do the sound test. Flipping the keyboard on the other side, you can see that it has 2 rubber pads which keep the keyboard steady on the table, and when you flip the legs that you could raise the keyboard, you get 2 more rubber pads which really do keep the keyboard steady on the table. Now when you're looking on the side surface, you can see that the keyboard and the height what you get. So basically this is it now, and when you raise the keyboard you have it like this. Now I would say that I really love the design of the keyboard just because it does look minimalistic at first glance when you're checking it from the top, but then you have a small wrist rest right here at the bottom, which is also plastic, and then we're talking about the RGB on the side parts as well. Now when we're talking about the RGB on the keyboard, this is something really outstanding. Now using the FM button with F5 and F6 buttons, you can adjust the brightness. With the F7, F8 and F9 you have the multimedia buttons, as well as on F10 to F12. Now F1 and F2 are basically the brightness, and F3 you get a special, it's actually really cool. When you press F3 you get all the possibilities to enter in Windows, and then when you press F4 you directly open your Windows Explorer. Now taking also into consideration, you have multiple platform compatibility. So at the back you can check out that you have Windows, Android, Mac and iOS. So you have a switch right here at the back that you switch through, and depending on what you're using. Also using the cable, you have to switch over to the cable mode. When you're turning it off, you just place it in the middle, and on the full right side you have the Bluetooth option. This keyboard can pair up to 3 devices simultaneously, and this is really cool because, well, you can use it on more devices definitely. Talking about the backside still, we have the tactile wheel, which is really awesome, and you can move it forward and backward, changing the RGB light. So you don't need to use the FN functions or something like that, you just use the wheel. The additional buttons and additional adjustment per color is using the FN and the right arrow. So let's check all the possibilities of the RGB lights. Now I know you guys must be really interested when it comes to battery life. The battery is 2000 milliampere hour and it goes up to 60 hours depending on the usage and do you switch it off and on. But this is the thing, it automatically switches off after 5 minutes of not using it at all. And the thing is, if it switches off like that, you just need to press a button, wait 1 or 2 seconds, and that is basically it. This is how long it takes for a keyboard. Even though the cable is currently connected, this is the same amount you get for reactivating the keyboard when you're waking the keyboard out from the sleep mode. That's it. So you get a small animation just to amuse you while it wakes up. Basically, that is it. Now the conclusion for the keyboard. 60 hours, which is quite alright, depending on the usage and the user, of course. Amazing RGB lights, definitely with low profile keyboard and the, I would say, standout RGB, you kind of do get a nice lights, and managing it is quite easy. You have loads of possibilities, so multiple platforms. You have pair up to 3 devices via Bluetooth, and you can connect it via cable. Loads of function keys, especially for the macOS. You have additional encryptions for it, and you have the indication LEDs for caps lock, screw lock, Bluetooth connectivity, and for your battery. So you have basically everything. The keyboard is really nice. And the sound is a bit louder, but I mean, it's a mechanical keyboard, so it's kind of quite alright. The typing is really cool. I didn't have any issues with it. And even though it has actuation distance 2.4 millimeters, the actuation force is 60 grams, which is better than the black. I mean, it would be cool to have a smaller actuation distance and smaller actuation force. So combining the blue and black switches would be somewhat interesting. And yeah, so guys, this is it. This is the Machenike K7 mechanical RGB Bluetooth keyboard, and you can find it on Vanguard. The links are below with the coupon code, so you can get a discount. Everything is right in the description, so you can't miss anything. Thanks for watching. See you next time in another video. Bye bye.